Welcome everyone. My name is Sparkle. This is going to be a 1 hour flow for your back. So we're going to do back bends, some back strength and core stuff, all to support the overall sense of lightness and posture. And emotionally, I like to think of back bending practice as a necessary, like 2 times a week or so practice to just help me feel like I can get off some of the weight of stress and responsibilities that I feel on my body. So it's a nice time to sort of be victorious in getting the burden out of the body and getting back to a sense of space, and in that sense of space we find possibility. So with that in mind, let's start with hands and knees. And I like to tuck my toes just to stretch the feet while I do this. Turn the fingertips back towards the knees. We're going to do cat-cow as we set ourselves into the breath. And stretch the wrists. So on an inhale, you can bring your chest forward through the upper arms, looking up to the sky. And on an exhale, starting from the low belly, draw in, pressing the earth away and lifting the back of the heart as much as your wrists can comfortably accept right now. We'll do this a couple more times. So inhale, pulling the chest through the upper arms, looking up. And exhaling. Attention to the wrists as you lift the back of the heart higher, bringing the head and tail under towards each other. So 2 more times like that. We'll just focus on the quality of the breath. You can even close your eyes if you want. Let's give ourselves credit. The success of the yoga practice, I believe, really only depends on your ability to stay in the process, to stay on your mat for the time that you've decided. So in this case, we're going to try to practice for a whole hour, undivided care towards ourselves. An hour of your life. Slide the hands out. Let's walk the hands forward. We're going to come to half dog. So the toes are going to stay tucked, and you just slide the arms forward until the forehead rests down on the ground. We want to be creating the breath response. So that means you're creating poses. The poses are situations or environments that encourage you to relax, even though they may be challenging. So by relaxing, anytime we're taking a deep breath, it's our body going, okay, I can relax here. Maybe I didn't think I could at first, but I'm going to give it a try. So that's us right now. 1 more deep breath. Rest the elbows down. Come up, knees and elbows. Walk the knees back. We'll rest the pelvis on the ground in the Sphinx Pose. So tops of the feet flat. Take a deep breath, lifting up through the chest. I love to give modifications so that everyone has room to explore at the pace that you want. So from here, I'm going to press down through my hands and see if I can take the elbows off the ground, floating just an inch or 2. Pressing down through the hands, kind of like you're deepening the print of the handprints on the mat, and pull back through the hands to slide the heart more forward and the shoulder blades more back. One more deep breath in, up into the chest. And exhale, lengthening your heart as you lower. Let's take child's pose with the toes tucked. You can press up to hands and knees, widening the knees so there's space for the belly to rest between the thighs. On the next exhale, settle your weight even more. Inhale, knees and elbows again. This time bring the hands into prayer. So from here with the elbows right underneath the shoulders, lift the knees. We're going to walk the feet in a little bit for Dolphin. So if you feel your body like I'm just doing now, needing to sigh, that's energy that needs to be released. It could be negative energy you're letting go of. It could be just excess energy. But either way, you don't want to hold back. See if you can just let go whatever naturally feels like it needs to be released. Press down through the hands and the forearms. Bend the knees. Now slide the hips back. Think about getting the sit bones over the heels. So you're going to really have to stretch back from the heart away from the hands, from the hips away from the heart. One more deep breath in. So it's getting a really sort of momentum of your center of gravity back in space, from hands to heart to hips. And exhale, you can release. Back to child's pose. You can keep the hands in prayer. Forehead down, hips heavy. Release the hands back about shoulder width apart. Inhale, let's come up, hands and knees. And from here, stretch the left leg back behind you. The toes are flexed. From here, draw the low belly and front ribs in and reach the right arm forward. So this is sort of the general form of the pose. And then we work to refine it by lifting the inner thigh on the back leg, lifting the outer hip on the extended back leg. And then from here, lifting from the low belly up, filling the back ribs with breath. And taking the upper arm higher out of your peripheral vision, so it's going up towards the sky. Take a big breath in here. Lift the arm and leg a little higher, so you're lifting on the diagonal. And exhale, let it go. Whew. Toes tuck. Let's take the hips around in a circle. So you go right, forward, left. One more time. Just getting information from the hip joints. A couple times reversing the circle. And we'll find the other side. So meet me in the general form. Right leg back, left arm forward, and then simultaneously lift the inner thigh and the outer hip on the right leg. From the low belly, reach up into the back ribs. Lift the left arm higher. So pressing the right thigh bone and the left upper arm higher towards the sky, maybe even looking forward. We keep the low belly lifting up into the back ribs. So we want the breath to be powerfully supporting us in every moment. So you can steam up the breath, the sound, the steadiness resonating in the back of the throat. One more big breath in. And exhale, release. Let's circulate the hips a couple more times. So all the way around. Reverse circle. And down dog. So lifting the knees, settling in. So the way we make this pose, or the way that we find a sense of comfort or a sense of home, is to try to fill the shape with breath. So to me, the yoga practice is self-applied energy work. So as you breathe in, you're shifting your energy. As you breathe out, as you release the heels down towards the ground, you're releasing energy back and down through the legs into the earth. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. You can wiggle the hips side to side like I'm doing into plank. And exhale back into down dog. We're just going to get a sense of this movement going back and forth to warm up the body. So inhale, coming forward to plank. You can bring back the quality of breath from cat-cow, the beginning, and use it here, inhaling forward, exhaling, down dog. Getting information in the shoulders as you inhale and move forward. Try to bring the shoulder blades onto the back of the heart. And exhale from the thighs, stretch back. 2 more times. Deepest breath of the day right here. To plank. And returning to down dog on the exhale. Inhale, look forward. We're going to step or hop. Feet to the front of the mat. Let's open up the shoulders a bit. So take the feet as wide as the mat. You can even turn your toes out 45 degrees. Inhale, lengthen through the chest. Interlace the hands with the knuckles on the back of the sacrum. So it's just above your tailbone. Roll your shoulders up to the sky. So we want to get energy through the tips of the elbows. So from the heart to the outer shoulders and up to the elbows. Big breath in. Look forward. And then exhale, leading with the heart.
Happy Pride, Olympia. Happy Pride, Pacific Northwest.
My elbows slightly bent.
I'm a queer member of the queer community, trans community here in Oakland, California. My name is Sparkle. I'm a yoga teacher. I have a yoga channel on YouTube called Yoga with Sparkle. So if you're into that sort of thing, you can check it out. I'm also a musician. So I'm going to play you a song. It's about leaving the small town where I grew up in North Carolina and making my way to the big city of San Francisco. So here we go.
Rippling wave, kind of like a springy feeling up the spine.
Trees from the sky outside are falling. And every night I wait for one to set me free. You're the only reason I'm afraid of leaving. 'Cause we both know this small town doesn't do a thing for me.
Arms out to the sides and up to the sky.
And no one craves
From the pelvis stretch up to the side.
the city like I do.
And inhale.
We are falling apart, and not because of you. You're the only one that I'm afraid to lose. Leaves from outside are finally falling,
Deep breaths here.
and next year's leaves I know we plan to see. But you like it here, and I wish I did, but all I like is you. And if I stay, my restless heart will always bleed. no one craves the city like I do. We are falling apart, and not because of you. You're the only one that I'm afraid to lose. And it haunts me every night that I don't make a move.
In a way, it's a practice of boundaries.
And I'm gonna make it out.
Keeping the rest of the world
Tonight, I won't stop looking back at you. I won't stop looking back at you.
Feeding that, sort of giving yourself positive reinforcement. You breathe deep and connect to your body. It's slowly let this goodbye. This now.
Craves
Take a deep breath in, bring
the
the shoulder blades onto the back of the heart.
like I
Lift
do.
into the back ribs.
We are falling apart, and not because of you.
Early, I'm doing that.
You're the only one that I'm afraid to lose.
Heart down slowly. Cobra.
You're the only one. Yeah, you're the only one. You're the only one that I'm afraid to lose. And I'm afraid to lose.
Inhale, left leg to the sky. And exhale, left foot between the hands for a moment.
Thanks everyone. Happy
Ground
Pride.
into the
I hope
front
that
thighs.
song
We're in
inspires
lunge.
you to
Lift the back thigh nice and high.
do something.
And from here, sweep your left arm
Leave
back
whatever is
and circle it up to
no
the
longer
sky.
working.
So we're going to end up in this position.
Check out my YouTube channel.
Roll
It's
the shoulder
Sparkle.
blades
Follow me on
back
Instagram,
towards the
Lunge,
back
Sparkle
plane of the
Spark.
body,
Stay safe.
gazing up.
And send
The
me
more
lots
we
of
gaze
love.
up, the more the back thigh is going to want to drop.
In Oakland.
So you can back off on your upper body turning for a moment and re-lift the back thigh. Once that's lifted, keep it steady. Inhale from the low belly, turn and reach up to the sky. Exhale, bring the back knee down, hands down, just a regular low lunge. Sweep the arms up. Interlace the hands overhead, and from the pelvis reach up into the heart. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Same thing, other side. So stepping the right foot between the hands, up on the fingertips. Take a moment sitting deeply into the front thigh. So we're building from the foundation. First, the front thigh sits deeply. Then the back thigh lifts up. Keep that. And from here on an inhale, reach your right arm out and up, turning. So the heart lifts from the back thigh, staying lifted. The back thigh keeps lifting up from the low belly. Turn and reach, bringing the shoulder blades towards the back of the heart. So although it may seem like the pose is in the shoulders and the turning of the neck, it's actually in the back thigh, up through the low back, and from the low belly turning. Whew. So it's harder that way, but that's the point. So step back to down dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. And exhale, the knees can go down first, or feel free to keep them up or lowering to the ground. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Inhale, Cobra. See if you can lift a little higher. So as the yoga practice opens up and evolves, we get to sort of expand with it. So you're lifting and seeing if there's any room to grow taller, especially up through the back of the neck. And on an exhale, down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop. Feet together near the front of the mat in chair. Bend the knees. And we'll do chair. So sweep the arms. Relax from the sides of the neck. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale. Now let's put a back bend into it. So the back strength is so important for us. So you want to take the arms, keeping the upper arms close, and take the upper arms back and the head at the same rate until from the heart through the fingertips it's vertical. So the head, the upper arms are pressing back, and you're extending from the heart straight up towards the sky through the tips of the fingers. Whew. Exhale, fold. Straight legs, relaxing through the spine. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, hands in prayer. Close the eyes for a moment. Just feeling how you've been able to affect your energy so far. Expanding awareness. Expanding your ability to creatively problem solve. It's so important to step away from everything in order to cultivate that. So inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Legs can stay straight. Inhale, lengthen. Now we're going to hop back and lower all the way down to the ground, preparing for Cobra. So knees bend, step or hop. Exhale, lower. Shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog. As long as it fills with breath, you're in a good spot. So see if you can deepen your breath and grow a little taller. Exhale, down dog. All right, flowing through some standing poses. Inhale, reach your left leg to the sky. Exhale, left foot between the hands. And we'll do just like how we did before. Lift the back thigh, and then keeping the back thigh up, turn from the low belly. So we're taking away the sort of attachment of turning and looking up, but instead lifting the back thigh, and from the low belly reaching up. On an exhale, release that hand down. Let's keep the back knee lifted. Sweep both arms forward, coming up into a lunge. Pull the back shin in and widen your right thigh. So that's in the spirit of expanding the back leg right at the hip crease. So we want to get a feeling of expansion and space there that we're going to bring up into the chest on your breath. So each time you inhale, you're three-dimensionally expanding. And warrior two. Turn the back toes all the way out. Turn the palms up to release the shoulder blades down and sit deep into the front thigh. Inhale, sweep your left arm up and back. Keep gliding from the pelvis forward. Feel the whole length of the thigh. Even dig in with the heel on the front leg. Exhale, bring your left forearm to the thigh. Sweep your right arm down and then up to the sky. Move the shoulder blades onto the back. And from the low belly, turn. See if you can just keep opening that top arm. Why not, right? So you can go wide across the chest.
like your heart is a light and you're turning that light towards the sky, extending it out through the top arm. One more big breath in. Scoop the left hip under. Low belly turns. Exhale, release. Both hands down, back knee down. Inhale, lunge. Sweep the arms to the sky. So it's a low lunge again. And we'll do a twist. It's our first twist. The right elbow goes to the left knee. Press the top hand into the bottom hand and lift. So this is, we want to sort of connect the things. In our previous twist with the arm up and on the ground, we did from the back leg through the low belly. So do the same thing here. As you lunge forward through the front thigh, lift the top of the back thigh. The back knee can stay on the ground. And then from the lift of the back thigh, reach up into the low belly turn. Exhale, release. Down dog. And other side. Reach your right leg to the sky. Exhale. Right foot between the hands. So here we go. Back thigh lifts. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. So we're really putting this sequence of engagement into the body. Lift the back thigh high. From there, twist your low belly up towards the sky. Shoulder blades back in space. One more deep breath. From the back thigh, turning from the low belly. Exhale. Both hands down. Keep the back thigh lifted. Sweep your arms forward. Come up to that high lunge. Catch your breath. Return to that place of being able, knowing that when you have set your space, you can expand from there. So it's the idea of discipline as the foundation for freedom. So you widen the back thigh. So that's the discipline. And from there, we open up into the back leg by the breath from the pelvis, reaching up. So we get all this space, like you can experience freedom in your body. Up from the low belly to the heart. One more deep breath from the low belly energy, lifting all the way to the fingertips. And exhale, warrior two. Turn the palms face up, relaxing the shoulders onto the back. Exhale, sit a little more deeply into the front thigh. And inhale, reverse. Take the right arm up and back. Keep going deep into the front thigh. See if you can bring your front thigh all the way to a 90-degree angle. Parallel with the earth. So you really got to sit low for that. Exhale. Right forearm, right thigh. Sweep your left arm all the way up to the sky. So in order to get this arm really opening, we want to do it from the deepest possible place. So lift the back thigh. Roll the right hip under. And as you move the shoulder blades onto the back, from the low belly, turn. So it's really coming from the earth. So you're connecting through the feet, extending through the front thigh, scooping the right hip under, and then the low belly turns and expresses the energy from deep in the pelvis all the way out through the fingertips. One more deep breath. And exhale. Release. Back knee down. And now we'll do that twist. Low lunge. Sweep up. Take a moment. Extend into the lunge, growing taller through the fingertips, and bring the left elbow across the right knee. All right, so we're
maturing and evolving our yoga practice by lifting the top of the back thigh. So the back shin can press down. In fact, the center of gravity really moves more into the shin as a whole rather than the knee. From the lift of the back thigh, turn from the low belly. Lift the heart. See if you can lift the heart to right in line with where the hands connect. So that seam between the hands and the heart all lining up. Then you can gaze back. Exhale, release. Hands down. Step back to down dog. Inhale to plank pose. And exhale. I'm putting my knees down to save my shoulders. We're all going to meet down here. Hips and heart on the ground. So from here, take a moment. Lift the hips a little bit. You can walk your knees in. It's kind of like an inchworm, yeah? The tailbone is pointing up. Now do the opposite. Stretch the tailbone down and walk your thighs back. So you're lengthening from the pelvis out through the thighs. Then bend the knees. Inhale from here, sweep your arms back. See if you can grab your ankles. And keep extending your tailbone down to the ground. And with that downward connection to the earth, we're reaching up. So kicking through the feet as the tailbone keeps extending, the heart lifting, feet kicking into the hands. Flare your toes, relax your face. One more deep breath. Roll the shoulders back towards each other. Lift the upper arms higher. And exhale, release. All right, Cobra. Shoulders onto the back first. Inhale, pressing down and sweeping up. Roll your upper arms way back towards each other. So there's a whole, I'm going to exaggerate the movement. So you can bring the shoulders forward just to see where they are. And then roll them all the way back. But keep lifting up from the back of the heart to the base of the skull. One more deep breath. Curling the bottom corners of the shoulder blades even more to the base of the heart. And using that connection to lift the heart from behind. Whew. Exhale, down dog. Alright, here we go, progressing. Left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot wider than your left hand. Bring the back knee down. We're going to do our first thigh stretch. So you can place the left hand on the left thigh. And as you lunge forward through the front leg, turn through the chest. Bend the back knee. So you're bringing your heel into your butt. From there, reach your left arm up to the sky. We're going to see if we can circle back and connect. So we're taking all of the, really it's from a desire to grow. We're taking energy out of wanting to turn the head and instead working from the foundation. So with the right hand flat, just like we did in the twist earlier, press down through the knee to lift the top of the back thigh. So it's sort of pivoting out of the lunge a little bit. Keep that. Extend forward through the front thigh. And turn your chest. Good. Now from here, we're going to engage the quadriceps while we stretch them. So kick the foot into the hand. That turns on. It's the feeling of straightening your leg. Whew, I can already feel it. And then keep that. So you're resisting the hand on the foot, but at the same time, bend your left elbow, bringing your heel into your butt. Keep kicking the foot into the hand, turning through the chest. From the low belly, from the back thigh across to the low belly to the sky. And exhale, release. Lordy. Okay. So here we are in a lunge. The fingertips are on the ground, both hands inside your front foot. Lengthen up through the chest. We're going to dive into the hips. So take the left armpit in front of the left shin. The right hand off the mat as well. So we're using a wide base with the hands. Now using the shoulder blades, pulling back onto the heart, you're moving your front thigh back. So armpit to shin to hip, all moving back, lengthen through the heart. And then with that, see if there's energy to fold or room to fold. Lift the toes on the front foot. Try to fold from the heart. So instead of letting the weight of the head roll forward, keep curling the head back, and from the pelvis, reaching forward through the heart, and from there, reaching forward and bowing. Inhale, straightening the arms, climbing up onto the hands, child's pose. Roll your forehead out on the mat from temple to temple. Inhale, hands and knees. All right, other side. So from down dog, reach your right leg to the sky. And exhale, step the right foot outside your right hand. Bring the back knee down and place the right hand on the thigh. So we're starting out with a thigh stretch and a twist in the same pose. So shoulder blades onto the back, press into the front thigh, and turn. So we have some wisdom now in the body. So you can feel the back thigh dropping. We're going to tap into that wisdom, lift the top of the back thigh, and from there, bend the back knee all the way in, keeping the top of the back thigh lifted. Sweep the right hand back. See if the hand and foot can connect. Roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Lifting the back thigh nice and high. Press the foot into the hand. And then from the lift of the back, top of the back thigh bone, turn from the low belly, bend through the right elbow, and pull your heel in towards the outside of the left hip. You can really go for it until you feel a stretch in the left thigh. Again, top of the back thigh lifts. We're growing every breath in the pose. We want to be evolving into it. So turning from the low belly, bending through the right elbow, even rolling the right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, connecting to the back of the heart. One more deep breath in, lengthen up from the heart. Woo. Exhale. Release. Both hands inside your front foot. You can even do, if there's a buildup of energy or stress, you can do a little neutralizing, circulating here. Feel free to put in at any time. All right, right elbow, armpit outside the front of the shin, taking the left arm out, 2. Now we're gonna move from the heart, so the shoulder blades going to the back, lunge forward from the pelvis through the front thigh, keeping the front toes lifted. So we experience a deeper sense of freedom when we first build a foundation. In this case, in the way the yoga practice is overall, it's this decision. You want to have access to these deep parts of yourself. So from that desire, stretch forward through the heart, press the head up and back, and from the heart, lead forward. The shoulder blades drawing onto the back moves the whole front thigh back in space. You can pull back from the knee to the back of the hip. And then softly, with the head curling back, the back of the neck long, fold from the center of your heart. And pulsing into it. So inhaling, lifting a little bit, lifting the sides of the throat, the tops of the ears, and exhaling from the center of your heart. Whew. One more time, pulse. A little out of the pose and a little more in to really explore it. Inhale, pressing up. Let's step all the way back, child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Here we go, back into it. Down dog. Walk out the legs one at a time. Unwind through the head. Inhale. Look forward. And exhale, hop. Feet to the hands, and we're going to transition to seated. So you can step or hop. And then sit down behind the heels. Let's take boat pose. The legs extend forward. Palms face up. From here, lift from the low back up into the heart. Inhale, arms in line with your spine. So from the energy of the low back lifting, lift all the way up into the fingertips. One more deep breath. Exhale. Knees come in, rock onto your back. Rock back up to seated. All right, we're going to play around. Take the feet as wide as your mat. And the hands, I'm going to turn my fingertips out to the side so you can join me in that. Roll the shoulder blades to connect to the back of the heart. And inhale, lifting up from the pelvis. So it's a reverse table. See how the wrists feel? That's going to determine future choices. So really lift. We're using the back, the hips, the hamstrings, really a lot of the back chain. So inhale, lift a little higher through the heart. exhale, release. Okay, stretch the left leg all the way forward and turn the left toes out. Step the right foot in all the way to the pelvis. We're going to see if we can go up just on the left hand. So turn your left fingertips back. So we'll go in from this position. Right hand, right hip. Turn onto the outside of the left hip. We're going to go into Wild Thing. So pressing down through the outside edge of the left foot. Inhale, lift. See how it feels. Take the right hand across to the front of the left shoulder and move the left shoulder blade back in space. So that's the foundation. So keep that really hugging in from the back of the shoulder blade. And then turn from the bottom hip, turn up. Take the right arm up to the sky. Press down through both feet. Lift the pelvis a little higher. Take the top arm all the way overhead in line with your ear. One more deep breath in from the left side of your heart. Stretch across to the right side, widening. And exhale, release. Okay, switch legs to switch sides. Right leg forward, left foot in. Turn those right toes out. Place the right hand behind you. So we start by rolling onto the outside of the right hip. Left hand is on the left hip. Move the shoulder blades onto the back of the heart. And from there, you can even look down at the ground. That's a nice reminder of what our priorities are. So we're going to keep this shoulder, right shoulder going back as we lift. And I'm using my left hand, connecting onto the shoulder to help me keep it back. From there, with the shoulder firmly rooted to the back of the heart, turn across the chest. From the right side of the pelvis, roll up towards the sky. From the heart, right to left, roll up towards the sky, left arm up. Take the arm all the way overhead. Again, widening and lifting from right hip to left, from right side of the heart to left, turning your chest. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Whew. All right. Slide the hips a little bit more forward. Let's release all the way onto our backs. Just take a moment to feel. Both hands on the low belly. One more deep breath. All right, cross the ankles. Rock up to seated. We're going to take a moment in reflection before we do this last pose. We're going to do wheel or Urdhva Dhanurasana. So take the hands, palms face up. Close the eyes. So we want to reflect on this. To me, this pose is like a threshold. So every time I go into it, it feels like I'm sort of breaking through some sort of closedness of my heart. I've realized my heart is closed every time I go into it. So we have to be willing to open up in that way. So take a deep breath, expanding your heart from the inside. Kind of like in that little bit of excitement to see what's on the other side, to see what openness feels like. All right, and with that spirit and mind, you can roll onto your back, place your feet hips width apart, move the shoulder blades onto the back, arms to the sky. From here, place my hands with the fingertips just under the shoulders, and inhale, scoop the tail, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Just feel how this feels. So it's bridge pose, and draw the elbows towards each other. So that's going to give us the shoulder connection that we want. So elbows draw in, outer shoulder blades press down to lift the heart. I'm going to come up on my tiptoes, and then pressing into the hands to lift to the crown of the head. All right, so rebalancing my handprints to the power to the inner edges of my hands. Pull the shoulder blades onto the back of the heart, and see if you can lift your head off the ground. If you go up, see if you can stay up for 5 deep, uninterrupted breaths. Exhale, release. Both hands, one on top of the other on the low belly. Let your knees fall all the way to the right. Inhale, knees to center, and then resting to the other side. Inhale to center. Pressing down through the feet, we're just going to do a little bridge pose. So hips lift, lengthen. So you're pulling with the heels to lengthen the tailbone. And then draw the knees in. Rock up to seated. All right. From here, I'll turn towards you. Widen your hips. And we're gonna take fire log pose. So with the right toes flexed, I'm gonna stack my left shin directly on top. So my bottom shin is covered by the top. I can't really see the bottom leg. Hands back behind the pelvis. From here, lift up from the low back through the heart. Walk your hands in a little bit more and lift again. So we're going to be really careful with the left knee. You have to really know your knees, and this is a great pose to get to know them. So the toes are flexed. One thing that I like to do is you can think about pressing the left knee up because it wants to drop, which the knee doesn't really like. You can put the left hand on top of the left knee and pull the knee up into the hand. With that energy, lift from the low back up to the heart. And see if you can lean forward from the heart. Then you can take your hands wide. So you don't really have to go that far in, really. It's from the low back lifting up to the heart, and that's the energy that's going to get us slowly into the pose. So little side to side. release the legs, and we'll set up for the other side. So a lot of this, I think yoga to me, a lot of times it feels like backtracking. That's okay. So you use your hands to widen through your hips, hands behind you, roll the shoulder blades onto the back. So it seems like backtracking, but it's really not. It's really that we're discovering the process. And it's always sort of more complicated than we think, right? So with your hands behind you, that's the foundation. And then connection to the back of the heart. Lift up, take the right hand onto the right knee. And just notice, you want your weight from one hip to the other nice and balanced. So with the hips equally weighted, lift up through the heart. Press the right knee up into the hand. And with that energy, from the low back, reach forward through the heart. Keep the knee lifting into the hand. Take both hands down. And then slowly side to side. On the next inhale, slowly you can walk up, lifting through the heart. Lean back, release the legs one at a time. Alright, we'll do some easy twisting and then releasing into Shavasana. So lay all the way back, knees stay together, walk the shoulder blades onto the back. And then rest your knees all the way to the right side. Inhale, coming out of the pose. And exhale all the way, knees to the other side. Right arm nice and heavy. Just see if you can surrender the full weight of your body here. Unwinding. Alright, let's take Shavasana. Stretch the legs all the way out. Relaxing the shoulder blades onto the back. See if we can take the deepest exhales of your day right now. So within the practice of yoga, it's become so obvious of how much of a sponge I am You might be feeling the same way. So we're just acknowledging how crucial it is to wring ourselves out from all the information that we're exposed to. All of the suffering that we're exposed to. It's not that it diminishes it or that it makes it go away, but it's just sort of a way for us to let go of it so that we're not carrying all of it in our bodies. So practicing letting go. Of all that we're gripping and all that we've been trying to force. With that deep intention of letting go, take the deepest, even deeper exhale. Slowly you can start to move through your fingers and toes, stretching the arms overhead, bending the knees. Let's roll to seated. And coming up. So take a moment of closure. So this is possibly, I think, the most personal moment. It's the moment of personal closure for the sacrifice of this hour of your life and what it has been able to provide. So I hope it's been something that you can carry with you into your day. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with me. Namaste.
Flying too close to the sun. Flying too close to the sun. The way I am for you tonight.